This is House of Transport. My name is Jide Oduyoye, the Transport Master. Welcome to our Highway Engineering series. This is a situation where we try to interact and educate the people that we communicate with on our series. For those of you who are used to House of Transport, you would know that previously we talked about road etiquette, how to behave and use the roads. In this series, we're going to be specifically touching on issues of highway engineering. What does that mean in detail? It means understanding the infrastructure of the road, how the roads are built, how the roads are built for use, who is supposed to do what, when, and how. And even after the roads have been built, what are the things that are supposed to be there for the road users to understand how to use the road properly. In order to do that, we would touch on one specific subject that is very, very pertinent for us to know, and that is introducing ourselves to the use of traffic signs. Well, traffic signs can mostly be vertical signs, but in other cases as well, you would have road markings, which is a sign as well. In a nutshell, a traffic sign can be likened to someone like me standing on the road and telling you what to do, when, how, and whether it is morning time, afternoon time, evening time. Just basically communicating with a road user. And a road user in this category does not mean a motorist only. Even signs are there to talk to pedestrians. So any category of road user must understand all the traffic signs for them to understand how road is used. Now, what are these signs? These are symbols or words written or designed or drawn on a plate that is placed on poles vertically for you to see it. They are needed everywhere where things change, where information is required for you to make a proper decision. For example, at intersections. For example, at roundabouts. So you would expect to find a vertical sign in any spot where the road configuration, where it changes. Some may even ask, what are these signs? What do they look like? If you're a motorist, you should be used to seeing some signs, at least in this Lagos. There are so many signs in Lagos, but we'll try and break down the types of signs that are mostly common. So the first one is a triangular sign. All right? Triangular sign. Mainly, a triangular sign is a warning sign. Why is it a warning sign? A warning sign is something that tells you to expect something unexpected in front of you. So you don't need to be warned if you already know what's going on. But if something is likely to change what is happening in front of you, a warning sign helps you. So you normally get a warning sign in advance of where that situation may be. So for example, you might have pedestrian crossing ahead. For example, you can have rocks falling. You can be driving on the highway where it's a rural road and you can have animals crossing the road, or you can have a road that suddenly changes from a wide road to a narrow road. All these, you will get a sign to warn you so that you can slow down in anticipation of what may or may not happen. The second type is a regulatory circular sign. That is now a round kind of sign. And this one is specifically telling you to do something or not to do something. That is why it's regulatory. So it's telling you, do this or don't do that. For example, if you come to a road and it says no right turn at an intersection, you will find a circular sign that would have no right with a red arrow across it to tell you, do not turn right. You would also find mandatory sign, regulatory sign, which is also mandatory. that will say to you, this is the speed limit for this road. And in some cases on the major highways, express, it is not uncommon to find a mandatory sign of the minimum speed that you can do on that road, because some people are so used to maximum speed. So a learner driver can go onto the road and think, well, since I'm not going over the speed limit, let me be doing 20 kilometers an hour or 30 miles per hour. Meanwhile, that speed on that configuration of road can cause a lot of accident because it's a major highway. So you can have minimum speed and you can have maximum speed. Mainly, a minimum speed will be on a blue background, but a maximum speed will be a black letter on a white background with red bordering on it, right? So we need to be clear on that. The third type of sign is what you would say informative. It's mostly rectangular, right? This tells you, gives you information that you require in order to make a decision to drive properly. So you have directional signs, you have information that you're coming to, or you're going to hospital, or you're going to places of interest, stadium, or generally just a sign where anything can be written to inform you so that the decision you make while you're driving is not affecting negatively other vehicles that are behind you or around you, right? So let's do a recap on that. There are three types of signs generally across the world in major cities. You have the warning sign, is triangular in shape. You have the regulatory sign, it is circular, and you have informative. Then the fourth type, which it's mostly common in the United States, but we have some like that in Nigeria, is now the diamond-shaped sign, which is yellow background with black letters. That also is seen as a warning sign. So there might be places in Lagos or in Nigeria where you will find those type of signs. So the diamond in shape, the yellow background with black lettering, and they also are warning signs. And we discussed about the warning sign. So the information about warning sign is also placed on that type of sign. So don't get confused. And each country and each city may develop its own wordings to fit in. For example, if you go to Wales, every traffic sign in Wales is in two languages. You have in Welsh language and you have in English language. If you go to UAE, the signs, you have it in English and you have it in Arabic. So there are no strict information that you can put on the sign. As long as you're communicating with the driver, then the signs are doing its own job. In other series that we're doing, we shall go specifically to what type of signs we can talk about and what those signs mean and what they should do for a good and safe motoring public. Thank you very much. Do subscribe to our social media channels. Check out the next episode on this issue of highway engineering education that we're on to.